Today we're taking a look at a famous prayer in the Bible and asking the question, should we be praying it? Hello, my name is Andrew and welcome to my channel where we talk about life, faith, and what it means to be a follower of Jesus today. Today we're taking a look at a prayer that I would wager many of us, if not all of us, as followers of Jesus have prayed at some point or another. And we're asking the question, should we be praying it? The prayer is this: less of me and more of you. I've heard a lot of people praying prayers that sound just like this. In fact, I've done it. I've prayed this very prayer. But should we? Is that actually what Jesus models for us to do? Is that actually something that he's instructing us to do or even wanting us to do? Now, the prayer itself actually is biblical in the sense that it's taken right from the Bible. The prayer is taken from John the Baptist, who in John 3:30 says to Jesus, "You must increase and I must decrease." So I suppose the question isn't whether or not it's in the Bible, because clearly it is. The question is, did Jesus teach that? And are we, as followers of Jesus, supposed to be praying the very same thing? Well, first we need to look at who said it. And in this case, as I've already said, it's John the Baptist. John the Baptist was an Old Testament prophet. And more than that, he actually represents the last of the Old Testament prophets. What does that mean? Well, simply put, it means that the ministry of the Old Testament prophets who were prophesying about Jesus, our Messiah, coming has now ended because Jesus is now here. And Jesus' ministry represents a new age for prophetic ministry. So John the Baptist knew that in order for this new ministry to be ushered in, the old ministry that he represented needed to come to a close, which is why he prayed, "Less of me and more of you." There's a bunch more that we could talk about on that particular topic, and I might try to tackle that in another video, but for now we're going to leave that there and park it and move back to the question at hand, which is, should we be praying less of me and more of you? So what does Jesus say about our lives? Does he want less of us? Well, first of all, Jesus came to save us so that we could be with him forever. That right there suggests that he actually wants us. If he didn't want us, all he would have had to do is just not come to earth as a baby, live a spotless life, die on the cross, and be raised again. And more than that, all throughout the New Testament, we see wedding language used, with Jesus as the bridegroom and the church, us, as the bride. And I think that's gonna be a pretty dysfunctional marriage if the groom doesn't want the bride, but just more of himself. Okay, but I thought we were supposed to die to ourselves. Well, in Matthew 16:25, Jesus says, "If you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will find it." So yes, we're called to lay down our lives for Jesus, but it's the very act of laying down our lives for him that allows us to find our lives. In James 4:5, it says that the spirit that God breathed into our hearts is a jealous lover who intensely desires to have more and more of us. So if he wants more and more of us, I suggest that we probably shouldn't be praying prayers like "less of me and more of you." It sounds good and pious and holy and righteous, but I don't actually think that that's what Jesus is hoping for. As we continue to die to ourselves in areas of our lives, we'll continue to find out who we really are as his very own people, his sons and daughters. So what should we be praying instead of "less of me and more of you"? Good question. I'd like to suggest that we pray for a deeper revelation of how valuable we are to the Father. I'd like to suggest that we pray for a deeper understanding of how eager he is to partner with his kids to see his kingdom invade earth, because he doesn't want less of us, he wants more of us. Hey, thanks for watching. What do you guys think? What do you think about this prayer? Do you think that it's a prayer that we should pray? Do you have an alternative or suggestion? I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you haven't already, I'd be stoked if you hit that like button. And if this is the kind of content you like and you want to see more of, why not hit that big red subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you stay notified every time there's a new video. See ya!